Welcome to the Chillicothe Cavaliers Coaches Corner. I'm your host, Alexis Carroll.
And I'm Mason Sobro. I'm on the varsity football team and also your co-host. Back with us this week is CHS head football coach, Coach Bart.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. This past Friday, Chillicothe played Westerville North, but fell 17-14 at home. Was it a close game the entire game?
No. It started off a little rough for us. They drove down and kicked a field goal to start off with, and then went back and forth, and then we drove down and fumbled. Had a decent drive going, and then they were able to take the fumble and go and score. So it was 10-0 at halftime, and I felt like we had played a little tentative. We weren't playing aggressive. We were kind of back on our heels a little bit, and so I felt like we challenged the kids up a little bit at halftime. Just talked to them about, we just have to do the things we do and do them as best we can do them and see what happens. And I thought we came out, got a penalty right off the bat on the kickoff, then didn't get a first down, punted first play. They scored, and I thought to myself at that point in time, it was 17-0. Where are we going to go? What's going to happen? And how are they going to react from this? And I felt like at that point our kids reacted very well. We toughened up. We put our foot in the ground and started going forward. We started making some plays. We started playing football a little bit like we can, and so it ended up 17-14. And we had opportunities throughout there to do different things, but it wasn't close there in the first half. We played real tentative, and I thought we played better in the second half.
Are there one or two aspects you could pinpoint on where we struggled?
I think some of it was just it starts. I say this. I've been for a long time. I've said this. It's high school football is 90% mental. It's not about what the kids can do. It's what they believe they can do and how they can do it. And I felt like we struggled a little bit with that in the first half. And we didn't feel like they were a bigger school. Probably people, talking to the kids said, this is a Division I school. They're a big school, blah, blah, blah. We're 3-4 or whatever, and over the course of the history with the team. And so some of that plays in a part of how you play. And I thought that at halftime, I think, there was a point where our kids kind of realized we can play with these guys. They're good, but we can play with them. And I think that's where you've seen a little bit of better play in the second half. So I think so much of it was between the years more so than, there's some little things, technique-wise, and that we got to fix. And some of that came because we were being challenged by bigger and better players than we had seen. And so those are things, the speed of the game you have to adjust to. And I thought each game we've played so far this year has gotten faster. And we've had to adjust to that. And I think that we did a better job in the second half than we did in the first half adjusting to that.
Do you have any game stats or any players who stood out to you?
I'm not a big stat person. I'm a guy that just, the one stat that matters is did we win or lose and did we play hard. Obviously, we didn't win, and yes, I was very disappointed in the first half and the way that we approached it. But at the same time, I was pretty pleased with the way we finished the game. So you have to, stats don't always tell you everything about the team and where they're at. And so, you can look at them and use them, and a lot of people like to throw stats out, but sometimes being in that locker room, seeing the kids' eyes, seeing where they're coming from and how they're doing is probably more important to me than actual stats.
This Friday we play Waverly Tigers. What should we expect to see?
Waverly's well coached. Coach Crabtree, I remember when he was a player. He was a good football player. He's been a very good coach. We played against him at Bloom Carroll, actually here at Chillicothe in the playoffs a couple years ago when I was an assistant there. So he does a good job. They're going to play very fast. They're going to get offensively. They're going to get to the line of scrimmage. They're going to play, trying to run a play every 15 seconds. So it's something that we got to be ready for defensively. Offensive-wise, we just have to take care of ourselves. We got to become more consistent and do some things right. We're making too many little mistakes offensively to get into any kind of rhythm throughout the game, and so we're still working on that and doing some adjustments there. But Waverly's well coached, good team, going to play hard. I'm sure they're looking forward to a chance to play Chillicothe. It's a bigger school. They want to kind of make a name for themselves, so we got to go down there with an idea that we're going to just dominate and take over things. But you got to see how the week of practice goes too.
What will be your main focus in practice?
I think seeing how the kids react to a loss. I've been very fortunate in my career not to have a lot of them at different times, and so you want it to hurt, you want it to bother them, but you don't want them to be so down in the dumps that they don't get better. And so what you worry about is, did it affect them enough that they come to practice and want to get better? And that's where you want to be. It's a loss is just what it is. It's a loss, but if you don't learn from it, if you don't take something from it and get better at it, it really doesn't do you any good. So I'm hoping that, yesterday's practice was really good. I really felt the older kids approached everything very well, and I thought we had a good practice yesterday. But today the young guys come back in, and I've asked the old guys to make sure the younger guys know and understand what it means to lose and how you approach. It's not the end of the world, but it's also something that we don't want to happen again, so we got to work and try to get better at it.
It's time for the rapid fire question. Who's your favorite person?
Next to my wife, I'm going to say my dad. I talk to my dad every day, and he's been a huge influence in my life, and I really enjoy having conversations with him.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunrise. I'm a morning guy. I get up early and try to do things.
What is your favorite number and why?
11 and, 15. It was my college baseball number. My first year I was number 1. They gave me number 1, but then I changed my high school number in baseball was 15. My college number in baseball was 15. So I have to say 15.
Summer or winter?
Winter. I like being outside right when it starts to snow. I think the fresh snow just, when it hits, it's just pretty, when it gets and it melts away and comes back new snow. I really like that. Now nobody likes it when it's minus 50 degrees, but like a good 30-degree day with the sun shining and snow, I think is a great day.
What toppings are going on your pizza?
Usually mushrooms, sausage, and banana peppers is probably the 3 if I had to pick.
And what is your favorite college football team?
I'm an Ohio State Buckeye. I grew up, my mother was a huge Browns fan, so I'm a Browns fan, I'm a Reds fan, and I'm a Buckeyes fan. And so I'm just an Ohio guy, so that's just the way I feel.
Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Before we go, can I say something? You care, huh? Can I ad-lib here a little bit?
Yeah.
Look, it's just like a nervous thing. One of the things I want to talk about my boy here. I had to call him on Friday night, and what people have to understand is that you see certain things as a fan and as a parent, and as you see a kicker miss a kick, you see a quarterback throw an interception, you see a running back fumble, and you think those are huge parts of the game. And like I told Mason, yeah, we missed a field goal that possibly could have tied the game, but there's so many other plays that happen in a game that are so important that people don't see. I coach the offensive line. Nobody up in the stands is watching the offensive linemen miss their blocks, but they do it, okay? And they cause us problems throughout the game. No one maybe seen that one kid not get his hands on the defensive end or not wrong arm, and those plays affect the game also. So, a lot of times kids like Mason, they feel that pressure that he missed that kick, but that kick is just one of many, many plays that happen in a game that have an impact on the game. And so that, we have to keep that in perspective, because as fans and as parents, sometimes we only see the things that are right in front of us. We don't see everything else. And as coaches, we get to see all the things that happen. And so, none of these kids should put the weight of the world on their shoulders and feel like they lost the game, because there's so many plays in a game that impact a game, that it's a team game, and there's a lot of plays, there's a lot of moving parts, and there's a lot of things that happen that change it. Could have been something that happened early on. Maybe somebody missed a tackle on the very first touchdown. If they didn't miss that tackle, we win, or we tie, or we go to overtime. So there's so many things. So, try to teach kids and teach fans that, keep things in perspective, and understand that these are high school kids that are doing their best and playing their hardest, and they work very hard at what they're doing. So, if you ever want to complain about anybody, find me. I'm the adult. I get paid to do this. So yell at me if somebody does something, but leave the kids out of it.
How do you deal with the pressure?
Pressure. When I go out there, I just think I gotta make it, but I kick a lot better whenever I don't think about it, and when I get in game, I think about it too much. So I just need to stop thinking about it so much, and just relax, have fun.
And understand that if you do miss it, we go to the next play. You know what I mean? And Mason will tell you, I called him after the game Friday. I told him, I said, ask him my exact words, do I need to come over there and put the smack down on you? Did I?
Yeah.
And I said, you had nothing to do with the loss of this game. Yes, you missed a kick, but it's part of the game. And so I think that's so important for them to understand. And it will make him, I hope, feel a little bit more comfortable the next time he goes out there to kick one, that he understands that, it's not all on him. The pressure's not on right at that moment, yes, but there's so many other things that play a part. So thanks for letting me say that.
You're welcome. Coach, thanks for joining us today, and good luck. For the Cavaliers Coaches Corner, I'm Alexis Carroll.
And I'm Mason Subaru. Go Cavs.
Have a great day.